Good morning. Reed here. Thanks for tuning in today. Now let's come and look at these little guys over here. So you might wonder, why are these two sheep? Yeah, they're coming over to me a bunch. Well, they are bees. And now every time they see a person, they want that person to take care of them. So, as their moms were like, no, you're not mine. I guess that happens sometimes in the animal world. It's sad to a degree, but, another way to look at it is maybe moms know something that we don't. And, we don't have to put our human emotionality on every little thing, right? Or do we? It's a curious question to hold. Anyway, I had a thought as I was driving here today. Rather than just coming through and looking at all this, I figured I'd walk a little further with you and see some of this, what is now a path beside a wetland that leads to a lake. I don't think we'll make it all the way to the lake this morning, and we're reforesting it as part of my job. And in that, getting a lot of extra creatures, such as squirrels, populating the trees. Some of them are getting close to 20 years old, and others of them were put in this springtime. We just finished our spring planting season with the project, and there's a few more to do for the autumn and probably again next spring. And then I think it'll essentially be complete as long as nothing dies and all that. Okay, I'm at the first gate here, and it's not closed as well as it could be, which means it's getting used, which is good. So I come through here, and I'll give you a little bit of the... So you can see there's actually 2 willows there, and a fir. You can see the pond, and where the forest line starts, there's actually a creek over there that comes off of the lake. Some comfrey as well. Actually, I'll just be over on the trees. You can see some of these trees are pretty old. Those are alders, and I think it's either a Douglas fir that's there. The previous one was a Sitka spruce. That's what that is. It's a Sitka spruce. And some more alders. There's a maple that went in. What's the name? Are those two the same? Cascara Sangrata? I think that's the wrong name. Anyway, you can laugh at that. I'm mistaking the names of different trees. There's our well pump for irrigation, because all the pastures here get irrigated from these ponds. And then, let's see, there's actually like a bunch of little poplars that got put in here. They're surprisingly leafed out. I was thinking that many of them wouldn't. The willow, another willow there, some more poplars here, so that see that. There's a couple, there's pines and pines mixed up over there, and some more alders and Sitka spruce in here. Even these ones, 1, 2, and 3 poplars that are doing all right. What are we doing? 4 minutes? We're good. These are doing pretty well. Whereas we planted some cedar down here, and they're all looking terrible. Those are going to die, so that's going to get replaced. Willows are doing great. Come to another gate. And the gates are here, and the area is fenced in because you can kind of see that little slick that's there. It's a beaver slick. So a bigger project that I'm about to be embarking on is taking those fence posts you see there and out this way, coming into a second pond which goes into a wetland, is to come in here and run, let's see if I can see my finger here, the fence line through the edge of the pond and the marsh. And you see these trees are a lot bigger. Those are some aspens there and some more Sitka spruce. Now here's a fun thing to do. Have you ever taken the greens off, eaten them? Oh man, it's delicious. And it's like packed full of vitamin C. Right here. Yum. This is actually a redwood right here. It used to be native to this part of the world. Some more aspens, a little Sitka spruce, a little maple in the ground there. I'll walk along the path. Now the cool thing with the aspen, the branch broke this past year and I trimmed it off and I took cuttings off of it and planted them, and all of them are growing. So that's pretty great. So we'll probably end up producing a bunch more of them. There's like stinging nettle all over the place here. Another great thing to eat. You see it growing all along there. You can see like lots of little like posts in the ground. They all represent other trees that are planted here. It's a mixed forest. There's some cedars and maples and more poplars and aspens and Sitka spruce, and there's an apple somewhere over here, and some of the edge has got some willow growing in it. There's an apple tree for fun. And so this entire hillside here is going to be all forested. And we're on a north-facing slope, so the wetlands are going to get a lot of good shade. And therefore, the water retention will remain pretty well. There's some cherries over in this area. There's actually a bunch of plums that are at a little plateau above there, and then starts apple orchards and things on the primary property. And we're calling this the Folly, which is an old pump house that's getting rebuilt up, and this is the old well pump here. Not the pump, but just the well. And that was built like getting close to 140 years ago. And the path goes on that way. I don't have time for that right now. So as I walk back, this has been one of my favorite projects. When I first came here, this entire path was covered in blackberry. And I'll show you like where the path started. And you couldn't get through here. And this project's been going on now for about 7 years. Little indents were made for some of these bigger trees that we saw to just get them started, and then each year I would come in and trim back the blackberry from them so they could actually grow upwards instead of just getting entirely engulfed. But right about this point on the path is where that started. And it's this kind of thing that gives me like hope for the future and inspires me in our interrelation with the other species. Like most of those things, even though some of them absolutely, like I showed you, the tips of the spruce have definitive like benefit to us, it's really about the other creatures. And just to recognize, like, you know, we share this planet with a lot of other beings, and even ourselves, when you understand your microbiome, are a lot of other beings. And on the rare occasion that I have to sit out here and listen to the birds or witness the squirrels, hear the wind rustling the trees. There's a vastly deeper sense of connection that arises. And I find that really inspires a lot of my other creative pursuits. And, as you're clearly watching this on some device, and the notion of the original device is the overarching environment that we're all a part of. And so, what are those activities that can bring us into deeper relationship with that? In particular, and almost especially from a context of, for the sake of all the other beings that are involved. With a recognition that, it's not just the magnificent megafauna and megaflora that are here to captivate our senses. It's also all the ones that we can't see. I didn't get into any of the soil biology today. I didn't talk about, any of those things that are outside of our eyesight. But the more that I open myself to those, the more I discover that I have an ability to feel and perceive them in ways that aren't just straightforwardly understood or able to be expressed to others. So I really want to invite you all to, continue to engage with the world and to slow down enough to be able to sit, stand, lie down, and listen with your whole being. We can listen with more than just our ears. And there's such a rich world to be present with and to gain any number of benefits from. I didn't get into the idea of, or maybe I should right now, going on forest walks and how it changes your cortisol levels in your body. There's so many benefits up there that happen even when we're not thinking about it. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for liking and sharing the videos here. And have too much fun.